So today I'm going to teach about quantum mechanics. Okay. So I still remember when I was your age in class 11th. So I think my teacher has taken it after my lunch period for straight 3 periods. Okay. She was a very strict teacher. Even we cannot move our eyes just here and there. Okay. She is that strict. Okay. So after having very heavy lunch, I still remember that I just sat there, but I couldn't understand anything. Fine, but I don't want that to be for my students. Okay, so my main purpose is to make sure that whatever I am teaching here, you should be able to understand more than 100 percentage. Okay, so right from around 3:30 p.m, okay, I have started preparing for the same. Okay, because this is chemistry, this is not like max where I can do you on the board. So here in chemistry, the most important thing is that within 10 or 15 minutes I will tell you the entire matter. Okay, so then only you'll be interested to see. So please listen for just 10 minutes. That's it. 10 minutes. Okay. Once that 10 minutes is over, then we will discuss the other things. Okay. So I'm sure that everyone knows about Rutherford model, Bohr's, correct? So a lot of atomic theory or whatever it is, everyone knows it. Correct. So every teacher who will be starting this class will be taking about Niels Bohr's, Rutherford, whatever we are known before, everyone will be taking. So once it comes to quantum mechanics, it will be end of that particular thing. Okay. So that we already know about Bohr's and Rutherford. But what we don't know only, I'm going to teach you first. So that you will be able to understand this much better. So we all know that Rutherford had a failure. In the sense, it was unable to explain most of things clearly. Bohr is also a failure. Okay. Then comes the quantum mechanics. No need to worry. Only the name is difficult, but things are very simple. So once I have taken the lesson, okay, please listen first. Later on, you can write it down. Okay, later on, you can write it down or do whatever. Please listen this thing. And once the class is over, I will give you time to ask you your doubts. Do not ask interrupt. Okay, fine. Do not interrupt me while taking the session. So guys, coming to the quantum mechanics. I have written down something called here light. Dual nature of moving particle, light. So light, dual nature in the sense means what? Two. So light can be both what? Wave nature and particle nature. So light can have both what? Wave nature and particle nature respectively. Wave and particle nature respectively. That is the most important point in this. Okay. So what we conclude from this quantum mechanics thing, or what is the insight towards this, is electrons can have both momentum and wavelength. Wavelength is lambda, momentum is nothing but p. Okay, if you don't, those who don't know what is momentum, I just draw a triangular here. Triangle. Okay, I'm just writing it down here. P and mv. So P is equal to mv. So momentum is nothing but the product of mass and velocity. So that only is lambda is h by mv, and this is p, where this h is called Planck's constant. I will tell you what is the importance of that in the next slide. Okay, fine. But the main importance of this quantum mechanics is nothing but it shows us the dual nature of the moving particles. So which means light. Light is a moving particle. It can have both wave and particle nature. That's all. Please listen. Later on, you can ask the doubts. Do not think any other thing or do not go. Just stick on to what I say. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. So now we are discussing about what? Momentum. We have discussed mass, momentum, mass, then h Planck's constant. One constant we have discussed in wavelength. So this guy, Mr. Heisenberg, says that okay, the exact position and momentum of electron is not possible, which means at the same time, okay, I cannot say that electron will be in this position, and I cannot say that okay, at this position the electron will be traveling with this speed or the momentum thing. I cannot say that thing. Okay, so which means he concludes what? I cannot find, or we cannot find the exact position momentum of electron. That is not possible. Or else this x is nothing but what? The displacement. Okay, the displacement. P is momentum. Okay, the product of the displacement or the product of the position. Here displacement is more generic term, we're telling it as position. The product of position and momentum is always greater than or equal to h by 4 pi, where h is the Planck's constant. You will learn it in problems. Okay, so this is one of the things which you have to study and keep. Del x into del p greater than or equal to h by 4 pi. That's all. So Karthik, just since you have come, I just started the quantum mechanics. Okay, since you have just come, I want to explain you this thing. This is a very important thing. Okay, please be attentive only for 5 or 6 minutes. 5 or 6 minutes, that's what I want. From all of you, I need your 5 minutes of time. I don't need more than that. 5 minutes, if you are into my session, I guarantee you that you'll learn everything perfectly fine. Okay. So quantum mechanics, in the sense, why we are studying this, I'll tell you one more time. Okay. The reason is nothing but we have studied about Bohr's atomic theory, Rutherford model of atom, whatever is, lot of things we have studied, but everything was a failure. Okay, so normally the teachers will teach you those things first and then come last to the quantum mechanics topics. But I'm gonna directly shoot into the quantum mechanics first, because what is correct you have to study first. Okay, so here what I discussed was moving particles, light. Okay, light can have both the wave nature as well as the particle nature respectively. That's all. Light is not here in the book, it's my example. Then we got a simple formula, electrons. Correct, electrons can have both momentum and wavelength. So that is nothing but the quantum mechanics. What did it prove actually? Electrons can have both momentum and wavelength. So lambda is equal to h by mv. mv, mass into velocity, that is p. P is equal to m into v. Okay, p is momentum, m is mass, v is velocity. That is nothing but p itself, momentum. Momentum is nothing but product of mass and velocity. So lambda is wavelength, h is Planck's constant. That's it. Okay, coming to the quantum mechanical model. So till 10th, what we have studied? We have studied that electron moves or revolves around the nucleus in a circular path called orbits. This is the orbit. Correct? This electron will move around the nucleus in a circular path. But whatever we have learned is completely false. Okay, orbits does not exist at all. It is I think it is around 200 years back or something. Okay, this is completely false. Now we are going to learn about orbitals. Orbitals, in the sense, it is a region of space around the nucleus where the electron is most likely to be found. Which means electron can, if it, in the orbit, what I told you, it can be either, it clearly revolves around the nucleus, right? But orbital states that electron can be here sometimes. Okay, it need not revolve around the nucleus. So determining the movement of electron, I can predict the shape of that what orbit. Okay, I can predict the shape. I'll come to this. So what is orbital? It is a region of space around the nucleus where electron is most likely to be found. Where electron is most likely to be found. It's not, electron is not something which revolves around the nucleus. That is completely wrong. Okay, according to orbitals, what is it? It is the region of space. Which one? Orbital is nothing but region of space around the nucleus where electron is most likely to be found. Whereas orbit is nothing but what? The electron revolves around the nucleus in a circular path, but here it is not circular path. So depending upon the electron position, okay, or where electron is found, I have drawn some certain shape. So this is not circular, this is spherically symmetrical. Okay, this I can say it is circular, kind of circular only. Next thing is dumbbell shape. DUM double B. Okay, dumbbell is nothing but DUM dumbbell shape. The dumbbells is there, right? The dumbbell shape. The dumbbell shape. One is the s orbital, one is the p orbital. Okay. Quantum numbers. So guys, Just now we discussed about what is orbit, what is orbital, and what was the last slide about? What we have been learning until class 10th is wrong. So in till class 10th, we already learned KLMN shells are there. Correct? KLMN shells are there, and all are in circular in nature. Okay, but that is actually wrong. Okay, and then we found out one more term called orbital, which clearly states what. Again, I'm coming back to the things because I want to make sure that everyone is properly clear. So orbital is nothing but what? It is the position where where the electron is likely to be found. It is a position of the electron where it is likely to be found. That's all. Okay. Now coming to the quantum numbers. So quantum mechanics, one of the things is quantum numbers. What is the importance of this quantum number? So it describes electron with respect to energy. How much energy is required? Angular momentum. Momentum is nothing but mass into velocity. Magnetic moment. I'll tell you what is magnetic moment also. Then spin. Okay, each of the things I'll be explaining in the next slide. Principal quantum number, which means indicates the energy level of the electron. We are all familiar with what KLMN shells. So the energy level is given by formula n square. This n square is okay. So for n is equal to 1, number of orbitals is equal to what? 1 square. Because number of orbitals energy level for n is equal to 1 orbital. 1 orbital, I'm not talking about orbit. We are talking about orbitals. Is 1 square, that is nothing but 1. N is equal to 2 is what? Number of orbitals is equal to 2 square, that is 4. N is equal to 3, we know it is 3 square 9, 4, 4 square 16, and so on. So this is my first thing, the principal quantum number. I'll give you time to write on each and everything, no need for you to worry. So it indicates the energy level of electron. Azimuthal quantum number. So my second point was what? Angular momentum. So azimuthal quantum number determines the angular momentum of electron and shape of the orbital. It is represented by L. And there is a formula L is equal to n minus 1. We all know what is n. N is number of orbital. So for L is equal to 0, it indicates it is an s orbital. Which means if n is equal to 1, L is equal to 0. For n is equal to 2, L is equal to 1. P, dumbbell shape. D, there is double dumbbell shape. For D, it is double dumbbell shape. Double dumbbell shape. And for F, it's a very complex structure, so I cannot draw the same. Third one, magnetic quantum number. What is it? Magnetic quantum number. So which means spatial orientation of the orbitals. Okay. So there are 3 axes: x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis, right? Correct? X-axis, y-axis, and z-axis respectively. So this shows that which axis is the orbital lying. That's all. Simple thing. Which axis the orbital is lying. So if you know the azimuthal quantum number, it is represented by L respectively. Azimuthal quantum number is represented by L. Just in the previous slide we found out. Correct? L is equal to 0, spherical. L is equal to 1, dumbbell. L is equal to 2, double dumbbell. Fine. So the value of magnetic quantum number varies from minus L to L. Minus L to L. So for s orbital, L is equal to 0. So magnetic moment is what? 0. M is equal to 0. For p orbital, L is equal to 1. L is equal to 1 in the sense I have to do minus L to L. Minus L to L. So it is what? Minus 1 to 1. For L is equal to 2, minus 2 to 2. L is equal to 3, minus 3 to 3. So minus 1 to 1 in the sense minus 1, 0, plus 1. So 1, 2, 3. 3 orientation it has got. So P, Px, Py, Pz. D orbital, L is equal to minus 2 to 2. So minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2. 5 orientation. L is equal to 3. So minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0 is one thing. Other thing is what? Plus 1, plus 2, and plus 3. So totally 7 orientation. That's all. So now any doubt for any one of you? Are you clear on what I have taught you? Again, once more I'll just come back. I'll come back to it, all of the thing again. There is nothing for us in this. Okay, what is my first purpose? I'll write it here. The first purpose is to introduce you something called orbitals. Okay, so which means I have to say that KLM and shape are not in circular shape, which you already studied. They got certain shape. One is spherical shape, other is what? Dumbbell shape. Other is what? Double dumbbell shape. Correct? Double dumbbell shape. The fourth one is complex one. This is s orbital, p orbital, and d orbital and f orbital. So s orbital in the sense it can hold 2 electrons. Okay, so s orbital means what? It can hold 2 orbitals, 1 to 2. P orbital, 1 to 6. So why? Because here I can clearly say it has got 3 orientation. 3 meaning in each block, in -1, 0 and +1, we can hold 2 electrons. In each block we can hold how many electrons? 2 electrons. So P can have maximum 6, 1 to 6. D has got how many orientation? You come to the orientation. 5 orientation. 5 means each block can hold 2 electrons. So D is 1 to 10. Each block can hold 2 electrons. Okay, and F is 7 orientation. 7 means 14. 1 to 14. 7 orientation. I'm just multiplying by 2, that's all. 1 to 14. But these are not there in your book. 1 to 2, 1 to 6, 1 to 10, 1 to 14. But my main idea is to make sure that you guys understand what I am taking. Okay. And as I told you already, each box can have how many electrons? 2 electrons. Correct? That's what I told you. 2 electrons. So this is also called Pauli's exclusion principle. What is it called? Pauli's exclusion principle. Which means the maximum number of electrons. I'll write it on here. The maximum number of electrons that orbital can hold is 2. Orbital can hold is 2. So guys, in today's class, I just want to explain you, okay, what is the energy level of an electron? How much momentum is the electron? Correct? There is it actually, yeah. And what is the magnetic moment, M of the electron? The last thing is spin. Spin quantum number. Spin quantum number in the sense what? Whether the electron goes in clockwise or anti-clockwise. Okay, the electron goes in direction. Spin quantum number. Spin quantum number gives what? Direction of the electron. Direction of the electron. Whether it is clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise direction. Okay, where the electron spins. Where the electron spins. It's that easy, guys. Okay. Any doubt in the session now? Guys, the topics which I want to explain is very simple today. One is the shape. I want to make sure that whatever you studied till 10th, it is completely false. Simple as that. Okay. KLM shells are not in circular shape. They got different shapes. First thing. Second thing is to introduce to you orbitals. Correct? And the shapes. Spherical, dumbbell or whatever it is. Third thing is to describe the electrons with you. What is the characteristics of electron? How much energy is there in each electron? What is the angular momentum? What is the magnetic moment? What is the spin? Spin in the sense clockwise to anti-clockwise. And magnetic momentum for spatial orientation. Correct. Magnetic moment for what? Spatial orientation. Which axis it is lying? X, Y, and Z axis. Because here clearly I written. Where is it? Px, Py, and Pz. Where it is? Yeah. This one. Axis. Correct. If it is 0, it moves from minus L to L. It moves from what? Minus L to L. That's the reason I'm giving minus 1 to 1. L is equal to 2, minus 2 to 2. That's all. That's the class about today. Is everyone clear on what I taught? From the starting, I'll just take it. Only 3 students has given me yes. No doubt. Very good. I think everyone is clear. Perfect. Very good. All the 5 students. Excellent. So guys, that's the thing. Because we can study Bohr's postulate by ourselves. Correct. We can study Rutherford model by ourselves because we already studied this thing before. But what about quantum mechanics? Okay, guys, it's very easy. First thing, again, I want to come back to the thing. I want to say that light has got two nature. One is the wave nature, and another is the particle nature. First one. Then I will introduce to you this formula. I have put it in block because this is the formula which is repeating in almost all the entrance examination. Lambda is equal to h by mv or h by p. In chemistry and physics, both the things, because same thing you got in physics next year. Okay, same thing in physics you got it next year. Lambda is equal to h by mv. In class 2, this is got same formula. So I want to introduce you to two terms. H is Planck's constant. Those values will be given. No need to worry. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. So which means I want the, what does it mean is the electron position, okay, the simultaneous. So one electron is there here. Let this circle be electron. I cannot describe what is the momentum of this electron as well as which position is this electron. At the same time, I cannot predict. That is this Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Or else product of the simultaneous measurement of the position and momentum is always greater than equal to h by 4. So this session is recorded and I'll give you today itself. These notes I'll give you today itself. But are you clear? What you studied in class till class 10th? Okay. Electrons are revolving around in a circular shape. Correct? In a circular shape, which means what? They are directional. They are directional because the particular direction is there for electron. But actually, what is it? Non-directional. I want to tell you what is orbit, what is orbital, what are the different shapes associated with it, what is principal quantum number. You have to just remember this thing. Which one? This particular thing. N square. That's all. Energy level n square. 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4. For n is equal to 3, 3 square. Azimuthal quantum number. N is number of orbitals minus 1. L is equal to 0 indicates s orbital. There are 4 orbitals, s, p, d, and f. There are only 4 orbitals, s, p, d, and f. Okay, fine. Then coming to this magnetic quantum number. That is a value of minus L to L. So if you know this, minus 1 to 1, minus 2 to 2, minus 3 to 3. Easy. Nothing is there for us. This is not chumma, I wrote it down. That's it. But guys, I was able to explain you like this because 1.5 hours of preparation was required for me to make sure that this is like this. Okay, fine. So I think only Chitranjan was there. I think around 4:40 or 4:30 he joined. 4:40, I think so. Fine. So before that, to create this thing, there is a lot of effort put to make sure that you guys get the rank. I don't want stress to any of you. Okay, fine. Is it clear to everyone? Yeah. I'm very happy. All the questions, if you all the questions you can ask me end of session. I'll give you the time. Okay. All the questions you can ask me at the end of the session. Fine. Because yeah. What is the doubt, Krish? Your doubt. You ask your doubt, end of the session, I'll answer it. Okay. So pi is 180 degree or 3.14. Good question. We'll take it as 3.14. Okay, in this. Fine. Yeah. It is not, yeah. Pi is 22/7. We or 3.14. We don't take it as 180. So once I do the problems, you'll be much more clearer. Okay. So today's main thing was to make sure that you know this thing very clearly. So that if I send you the notes, you can do it. Let me just pause the recording now.